Describe how the Scopes trial was a national sensation. Detail the result of this court case, important figures involved, like lawyers we talked about, and how this case depicts the clash between fundamentalism and modernism in American history. There you go. Oop, my bad. All right, let's go over it. So, the Scopes trial, what happened here? What act was created in Tennessee that forbid the theory of evolution? What was that? Noah, go ahead. The Butler Act. Yep, good job. And why would Tennessee want to try to create an act like this? What was the reason for this law? What the heck? Why are they not teaching the theory of evolution in public schools and education? for these people in Tennessee and these southern states? Noah, go ahead. Yeah, good job. Good job. So, in these rural areas, especially in these southern states, many of the people in the 1920s were focused in what group? Gasty? Fundamentalism. Yep, good job. And we know the fundamentalists were revolved right all around religion. Okay, pretty much every learning, every teaching is straight from the Bible. Any of these new theories, these beliefs on creation of man, like the theory of evolution, should be discredited, should not be taught in public schools because this could cause a lot of disruptions, a lot of problems in the household. And for many of these communities, especially in the South, that were holding on to the fundamentalist values. Good. So the Butler Act was there to try to protect religion, protect the fundamentalist cause. Okay, it just goes to show the politics of the South at that point, right? Still revolving around fundamentalism. Good. And then John Scopes, what did he do? So he taught the theory of evolution in public school. The kids went home. When they were asked what they heard about in school, they talked about the theory of evolution. So this caused an uproar in society in this small town in Tennessee, to a point where many of the parents were going to the school board up in arms about this teaching and how it was contradicting, how it was coming in conflict with their religious core values at home. And this was really one of the first nationwide court cases where people were listening on the radio of what was going to go down and what was going to happen. Okay, this was broadcasted nationwide about this hearing because, well, the United States was in limbo at this point. Are they going to move in more of a modernist viewpoint, a modernist way of life, accepting these new theories and secular viewpoints? Or are they going to still hold on to the fundamentalist values where religion's kind of dictating the role of the US moving forward? All right, so who defended John Scopes? Who was that famous lawyer we talked about yesterday? Go ahead. Tanner?
Clarence Darrow.
Clarence Darrow. Yep, good job. And it looked like he was actually going to win the court ruling. Many people say that he really should have because he brought up a few good points. It's not like Scopes was trying to persuade these people to forget about their religion. He was just teaching, he was just really teaching about the theory itself and how this is a new perspective, a new theory of how creation of man came about. All right, good. And then who was defending? Well, who was a part of the Butler Act? The opposition here, and the state of Tennessee. Who was the famous lawyer there? Like I said, he was the biggest loser. He ran for president 3 times and lost. Gabe, do you remember? Yeah, William Jennings Bryan. Good job. So he had a huge backing, right? Everybody knew who he was. He ran for president 3 times. Although he lost, he was still popular amongst the people, especially in these southern states. So why not have someone like a name like William Jennings Bryan to lead for the state of Tennessee and try to convict Scopes? So what happened? Who won the initial court case? Who won? Karen, who won the initial court case? William Jennings Bryan. Yeah, good job. And the fundamentalists. And again, this is being broadcasted across the nation. So everybody was figuring, well, we're still stuck in this fundamentalist view, and we're still stuck in these fundamentalist beliefs. We're not moving forward. We're not accepting these new modernistic viewpoints and theories of life. And that just goes to show with the passing of the 18th Amendment just 5 years before, and how prohibition, this temperance movement, was taking hold, and how religion was still kind of dictating what was going on in the political atmosphere. Okay. Shortly after, though, just really a year later, okay, that was overturned, and it kind of looked like now the modernists were gaining a lot more leeway, and the United States as a whole was accepting more of these theories and viewpoints and sciences. All right, is there any questions, guys? So Scopes was fined $100. He served a little bit of jail time, but not too much, and obviously this was overturned. And we look at it now, and like I said, they reenact the court case every year, which is coming up on its 100th year anniversary soon. So I'd like to see exactly what comes about of that. All right, terms for today. Just one. Just one. Won't be long. I promise. We got flappers. A flapper. What the heck is that? There you go. Just one term. All right, so real quick, just want to talk about flappers a bit, and that'll do it for today. All right, so what amendment gave women the right to vote? What amendment? We know 18th was the prohibition. That was later repealed by the 21st, which we already talked about. And we talked about the 19th Amendment already in chapter 1. I already just said it. Oops. All right. Women's suffrage, 19th Amendment. Good job. So with this new independence, women now, because they're in the workplace during World War One, they're filling the job line, the industrial lines, they're helping the war effort and the creation of the Red Cross, right? Filling these healthcare positions to help many of these soldiers on the battlefield. And like I said, filling the industries to help provide for the war effort, making different types of clothing, helping with different types of weaponry, and uh, and helping for the war effort. So women becoming more independent. So in the 1920s, with these new freedoms, women were going out and getting involved in this different type of behavior that really challenges the fundamentalist view. Right. So many people in these rural areas hearing about these women wearing loose clothing and clothing that shows a little bit of leg and showing a little bit of cleavage as they're going out and partying in a way, drinking alcohol and getting involved in this different type of behavior that was just unseen and unheard of at the time. Right. In the 1800s, moving up in the 1900s, women were strict to the household. Their role was to take care of the children, okay, take care of the household while the husband was out working in the industry, the coal mine, you name it, and providing for the family. And also trying to educate the children with really a lack of education. So women now had a different role. So as they were going out and partying, so the flapper kind of looked like this, right? So this was young women that were wearing a different style of clothing and getting involved in this different lifestyle. The name flapper was coined from Great Britain as they're viewing these different trends in society that was brought forth because of industrialization, because these new freedoms granted to women. And a lot of that had to do really because of World War One, as they're filling the industries, the factories, and help providing for the war effort. And we all know with the 19th Amendment, gaining that right to vote. So more freedoms means a different way of life, a different pace of life for women. So this embraced new fashion trends, okay, new clothing lines. Women were wearing makeup for the first time ever. And like I said, getting involved in a nightlife. So going out and enjoying themselves at these speakeasies, right? At these hidden bars, which we already know what a speakeasy is, right? Yeah, okay, good. So even though prohibition was around, women didn't really care. Like many of the people in the United States at that time, they were going out to these speakeasies and enjoying themselves. So new roles for women. We kind of talked about this in chapter 1 already. as women were working in the workplace, okay, obviously they're gaining a right to an education and now have a voice because of the 19th Amendment. So women were entering the workplace as nurses, teachers, librarians, and secretaries. So not really a physical demanding job, but still gaining more freedoms, gaining more opportunities because of this progressive movement, which we talked about in chapter 1, and because of their role in society during World War One. So as women were gaining more independence, what do you think happens to the birth rate? So as they're going out and partying a little bit more, okay, as they're maybe stepping away from this fundamentalist values, what happens, do you think? What do you think, Cassidy? Yeah, the birth rate's going to decline. Good job. And the reason for it, because there's a lot of feminist movements, okay, and looking and striving for more equality in society. And they're not just going to sit in a household and really have multiple babies, multiple children, okay, like previous times. Okay, they're filling the workplace. They have the ability to be independent and have more opportunities for themselves. They want to have fun. They want to let their hair down. And hence comes the name flappers. So during the 1920s, increased birth control information became widely available. So that also has a reason for the decline in birth rate. Birth control clinics were open in 1921. So just more knowledge, just more understanding. And obviously with more independence, more opportunities, okay, this is going to decline the birth rate. And this is really appearing the first modern form of family, modern form of society of what we know today, where women have the right to an education, opportunity in the workplace, and these families are molded of what we know of today. So the first modern family emerges. So women not only had to take care of the children at home and provide meals for the man as they're working in the workplace, but also gaining more opportunities in the workplace, like I said. Marriage was based on romantic love, no more scribe relationships that was provided by, let's say, the parents of the woman or the man. They actually got to choose who they wanted to have a relationship with. And a lot of that has to do with these changing times through the Industrial Revolution in America. And as these different changes in the workplace occur, now we have more time on our hands. We're not working long hours with little compensation. We have the ability to go out and enjoy ourselves at these entertainment facilities, institutions, you name it. Women have the right to an education, which is forming the modern family like we know of today. Before that, still revolved around farming, still revolved around the agrarian style of living, the old ways. All right, is there any questions on flappers? The emergence of modern families in the United States. We good? All right, and that has to do, like I said, because these changing times with the Industrial Revolution and post-World War I.